So what I was saying here about those spirit kings of the Medes, those are going to be the souls of the fallen sons of God / Anunnaki, depending on which way you want to look at it. I told you that they're mortals. They live that mortal life, and when they die, as I said, the book of Enoch declares, and even the Bible, because we're talking about dispensational ages where souls are being kept on earth. And then, of course, you know at the end of this age, we're supposed to have the dead in Christ rise. Well, that's a dispensational age. It's telling you that terrestrial spirits are held on earth in dispensational ages. The only difference is that what you don't know is that the spirits are separated. And the spirits of the fallen are contained within a different system than the souls of people like you and I. And we're talking about, when we say the fallen, we're talking about this illuminated master race, okay? Their progeny, their descendancy of fallen souls, okay? Now that's what the spirit kings of the Medes would be. It would be these ancient spirits of the deceased fallen sons of God that have achieved illumination, but yet they could not achieve immortality in the physical. They still got to pass through the portals of mortal death. You see it in the book of Enoch declared that they shall not live forever. And then that's a part of the rebellion and some of the things that happened to them. And it's where we get the Pyramid of Giza is begin to be used or created as an interplanetary communication device. And they were cut off. Our planet was cut off. It was quarantined at that time. And we're still under quarantine at this time. But all this time they've achieved a physical way to make this communication. And the root for the Giza Pyramid is just that. It's a communication device. It's a giant cell phone. They're trying to phone home, okay? And of course, we're talking about the connections that it has to Orion and all the other constellations also. So what I want to say now is what I said on the previous video was I was talking about these crystallized religious creeds. Well, if we're talking about these souls that are supposed to be held somewhere separate with these spirit kings of the Medes, well, once again, we get a description from the book of Enoch and even within the book of Job, alluding that these spirits are being held in crystal. Now, the book of Enoch flat out explains it, that they're coming out of a crystal habitation. Now, you got to think about it. If it's spirit energy, okay, spirit energy is a fluctuation of vibratory resonance infused with spirit consciousness. But yet there's an identity of form that's separate from the consciousness, just like the body is separate from our consciousness. It's our vessel. So the spirit itself, its energy, its blueprint, its identity, its personality, its unique blueprint, like I said, has to be maintained. Okay, it has to be stored. It can't just be randomly, arbitrarily floating out in the supposed etheric dimension. Okay, because it's not like that. So that's where it comes in. The crystals are contained, or these beings are contained within the crystal, and they're waiting this moment to come out. Okay, they're waiting for the occultic inertia throughout the ages to give them the ability to escape this prison that they're in. And then, of course, the book of Enoch relates about this being a dry place with no food or water, which is signifying that they're still consciously alive, but they're being denied the sustenance of the truth. And that's where we get into the connection with, well, now when this says food and water, of course they're not eating food and water, I mean, if they're in spirit form, but that's just what it's trying to say, that they're denied the sustenance of truth, okay? And they're in this crystallized prison form. So they want to get out. And when we're talking about crystallized religious creeds, that's what these locusts are now fractally, holographically, micro to macro relating. Not the locust as in the physical ones that are still alive, but the spiritually deceased. They're coming out of crystal. Well, it's the same crystallized religious creeds that's been non-progressive over all these years that has been sponsored by the doctrine of the false locust in the first place. So if you can expand your mind to understand that the world is always going to show you a lower or higher reflection of the truth depending on your capacity to receive it. I'll be back.